All right. I am joined here today by none other than Paul-Mikél Williams, the voice of Darius, and Raini Rodriguez, the voice of Sammy in Jurassic World Camp Cretaceous, who you can hear currently in 5 seasons of the aforementioned show, which is currently on its 5th season that just premiered on Netflix. How are you both doing?
I'm doing great.
Feeling good.
Yeah.
I expected so much. I mean, look, I've got you here for a quick few minutes. I want to discuss the final chapter here of the Camp Fam saga. But first, I have one question for you both, and it's a question that I ask most people, and they don't necessarily have characters that have been in this situation before. So I want to see what you guys have to say. Now, if you were stuck in a kitchen with a velociraptor, what would you do, and would you make it out alive?
Can I give my exact first thing that just popped into my mind?
Yes.
Do it.
I would pet it. That's the first thing that popped in my mind. I'm gonna give you a scenario real quick since this is a podcast. So first thing that I imagine, I'm facing the stove. Blue is, just chilling right next to me. First thing that popped in mind, we look at each other, have this eye-to-eye contact moment, and I just give her a little head pat. That's the first thing that came into my mind. Like,
there you go.
But he asked, Paul, are you making it out though? Like, are you making it out to tell the story that you got to head pat a velociraptor?
You know what? I probably wouldn't care. I would be like, you know what? This is the last thing I do. It was worth it.
But you know what? I wholeheartely agree with Paul. I feel like that would be, I don't know why my first thought was like, oh, am I cooking? Am I feeding the dinosaur? I'm like, what am I doing in the kitchen? Like, am I in the middle of like cooking something? I'm like, oh, hungry, set the table. Yeah, I would, I mean, look, if we're talking like Blue, I mean, we know she's been trained before, right? And so she clearly has a little bit of a rep with the humans. Some good, some not so good. I would hope she would see my sunny disposition and realize that I am, in fact, not out to hurt her, but just want to get to know her, possibly head pat her as well, if she allowed me to. I have, my nails. I give a nice little head scratch. My dog loves when I do that. So maybe do one of those and hopefully make it out alive to tell the tale later.
Yeah, you got to tell the story.
Yeah.
Yeah. Somebody
I feel like I've never gotten this kind of answer before, so I appreciate that. That is a good one. You're gonna just pet the dinosaur.
I mean, you might as well try. It's either that or like go on Instagram Live and be like, guys, look.
Yeah.
So how does it feel knowing that the final 2? Because we're talking spoilers here. How does it feel knowing that the 12 episodes are out in the world?
Woo! A relief. So now we can talk spoilers.
Yeah. Finally talk about all the Easter eggs and stuff that were in the show, man.
Yeah.
Really rewarding, honestly. Like, everyone has put in such hard work for this last season, and that it's now out in the world and people can see it, and I don't know, it's something really special, especially the fact that it's the end of the series, and it's always those emotional times when it's all this hard work that we put in the last couple years and it's finally out there, and I'm just so excited for people to see it and watch it. And I love hearing what people have gotten to say about it. And I love hearing all the fan theories of what they thought was going to happen, what did happen. They knew it all along from the beginning. I knew they were going to do this. I love when people do that. It makes me laugh because I'm like, no, you didn't. You were just hoping. Because I've been fans of shows before too. And I know what it's like to watch something from the beginning and really hope that, this character ends up with this character, or this happens, or, they get off the island. And, and I think that's everyone's biggest question every season, are they going to get off that island? What's going to happen next? And so, 5 seasons in, and we did, and everybody gets to see that. And I don't want to say like, and they lived happily ever after, but it kind of is. And it's nice to see that because they are just children at the end of the day. Like, we're just young teenagers. So to be able to have that and lead up to where the story ends is really fun.
Yeah.
That's just probably like my thing. Yeah. Oh, sorry about that.
Yeah. No. You go ahead. You got the question. The floor is yours.
Oh, well, I was just going to point out what Raini said about, I love when people have hindsight bias about what they about what they were like, oh yeah, of course, I knew this was gonna happen. I've been thinking it the whole time.
Exactly.
Yeah, it's just it's so great when people, you know, say stuff like when they knew something was going to happen or what they were really anticipating. And it's really great to finally have that moment when you can say, you were right, it did happen. We've been we recorded this like 2 years ago. We were waiting for you guys to watch it. Yeah, it's just the reactions that we see are probably my most favorite part, because then it shows me that the fans are loving what we as a cast and crew are putting out. So
yeah. And it's something that you put out there and you don't know, like you're kind of shooting for a certain demographic, but then there's people like me who've been, you know, watching these movies and reading the books and playing with the toys for like 30 years now. And it pays off for my level of fandom, as well as, you know, somebody like my son or my daughter. They love it as well. And maybe they're not guessing the same stuff that I would, but, you know, we all come together in the end and it's a lot of fun. Now, I want to jump to basically the end of the show, because I want to ask you, Paul, because Darius has transformed into a character that was like a young dino nerd. And now he's somebody that's like akin to an Alan Grant or an Ian Malcolm up there, like on a stage, giving a presentation about dinosaurs and experiences and all the chaos. So how does it feel to kind of be on that level of like an Alan, an Ellie, or an Ian?
Yeah, I was waiting for him to say "life finds a way" in that TEDx talk.
That would have just had people's minds explode, Paul. If we would have done that, their minds would have just exploded.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. I knew it was coming. I knew it was gonna happen.
I knew it.
Yeah.
Somehow, life finds a way. They were right.
Exactly. Life definitely found a way with kids chilling on 2 islands for a year, not getting eaten by dinosaurs, for sure.
Yeah,
but
that's very fair.
But yeah, I definitely feel like Darius is finally, you know, living his dream now. He's always aspired to be, you know, of course, he's always loved dinosaurs. You see it throughout the entire series that, you know, he's willing to give up his life for these amazing prehistoric creatures. And, you know, he's even persuading 5 other people that would much rather get home to protect these dinosaurs.
Yeah.
But yeah, and then seeing him on this stage and also getting to grow up with him during the show and seeing him, you know, be on this stage. And like you said, as, you know, the next Ian Malcolm, as the next Dr. Alan Grant, that's making groundbreaking research. It's really nice to finally see Darius, you know, be in his element and be happy about where he is in life and finally get the happy ending that he always wanted, which is, you know, being home and getting the full experience of Jurassic World and dinosaurs, and also, you know, getting to be there for his dad. And because that's one of the main reasons he was there, which was because he didn't really get to experience it with him. And it's one of the biggest moments that he's going to remember in his life. So yeah, I just can't, like, it's just so much.
Now, Raini, I want to ask you this question, because I feel like, you know, with your work during this season, it was like some really, really amazing stuff in there. And I think this show overall has been really great with representation across the board. And I love that, you know, while I'm watching this show with my kids, and you know, I think it's something that is great for them to see. Everything that you guys have put on the screen in this show, there's been so many amazing moments and things that really matter. And I love that this show shows kids being supportive and happy for one another, you know, and I think that's really important. So how important was that behind the scenes for this crew to be such allies for each other?
Oh, I mean, it totally made a difference in the show. I feel like the support we got, I mean, starting all the way from the tippy top of Universal, DreamWorks, Amblin, Netflix, I mean, it all trickles down from them of wanting to portray stories that are like that. That show representation, not just in ethnicity, but with LGBTQ plus, and, you know, showcasing storylines where people are supportive of each other. That's Sammy's total MO. I mean, from season 1, the whole reason she was even at camp was because of her family back home in Texas. And obviously you can't anticipate getting stuck on an island that's, run rampant by dinosaurs. But what she wasn't surprised about at all is developing another family within her camp family. And I feel like for her, that's what's been pushing her the last 5 seasons, is family, is the love that she has for these people, not only to get off the island and go back to her family back home, which is the whole reason why she was there, but along the way, she gained 5 new family members that she just absolutely cares about. And I feel like it's funny because I feel like if you go back and watch from season 1 to now, knowing now what you see with Sammy and Yasmina's relationship and how it's grown and how it's progressed and it finally is in game, like I feel like if you were to go back to season 1, you would see those vibes that were put out. From then on, I like, now if you go back and watch season 3, when Yaz is trying to find the antidote for Sammy because, she was shot by the Scorpius Rex's quills, like I feel like that adds a whole new element.
Pick it up immediately.
That might not have picked up on it from back then, but it is, we got a lot of fan response early on in the show of people shipping Sammy and Yaz and seeing vibes of like the opposites attract and Sammy is always very warm and rambunctious and loud for everyone, but there is a special something that I myself as a viewer saw watching the show, reading the scripts, but then as the actress getting to play that was an added bonus too, because we talked about it a lot with Scott Kramer, our executive producer, of just saying things like, okay, wait a minute, like in the script it says she glances at Yaz for like a second longer than what she should be glancing. But, where it says like Yasmina like holds her breath when Sammy walks by. I'm like, well, what does that mean? I'm like, and so it was them saying like, look, this is a storyline we're developing. How do you both feel about it? Immediately Kaiser and I were just like, yes, this is perfect. It also feels natural. I've seen some projects where some things feel a little forced because they want to check that box of diversity. And since day one for us, I feel like it's always been there. Not just starting off with a diverse cast, but you really have 6 different personalities of 6 different campers that come on this island that have no choice but to band together, because if not, they're going to get eaten alive. And so, you have their differences, you have their similarities, but at the end of the day, they're all very supportive. And speaking from Sammy's point of view, she is 100% supportive of who you are as a person. And if you're like a Yasmina where you don't emote quite as much as someone like Sammy does, that's okay. She has enough emotions to make up for all of that for everybody else. So to see all of that natural progression happen, to be a part of a show that has such diversity included in it is just, it's amazing. And then to be a part of the Jurassic franchise, to throw that in, it's just another thing to feel yourself being represented as a Latina from Texas myself. It's great to have that representation on screen. And I hope that kids at home, not just kids, adults as well, feel the same way, that they too can exist in a world like Jurassic and thrive. I hope that people get the same vibes that we put out while we were recording it.
Yeah, I'm very proud of what you guys put together. That was awesome. So I'm really happy that was in the season. So
thank you so much.
Now, I want to ask a question about a legacy character here. Lewis Dodgson steps right into the show, right? And he's from the books and he's from the first movie. How cool was it to have like a character like that step into the final season here?
Man, first of all, I think I watched Dominion like maybe, I don't know, like June. And I saw like Lewis was one of my favorite characters, especially in Dominion, because when they brought him back, he still embodied who he was. And then when I saw him in Jurassic, because I was binge watching the entire season 5 so that I knew, so that I could be prepared for these, I saw him arrive. I was like, no way.
Yeah.
Because I don't know why I was so surprised, but to see somebody that's so iconic and, like you said, a legacy character get to be in this show, it's like, it just goes to show how much like how much bigger this franchise is than we really are, and the fact that we get to be, you know, the next generation of it. So, and also I love the dude's voice so much. But
it is, you know, I think first and foremost, like, there are so many Easter eggs and tributes that we've done within our show to the books, to the movies, you know, to everything that we could possibly do. And even other Spielberg films that we've thrown in, like other little things that we've gotten to do, you know, it's just, I don't know. I'm like Paul, when I read that, I was like, wait, what? I was like, hold on. And then I always have to like double clarify when I'm recording. I'm like, whoa, okay, guys, but like, we know where this is from, right? Like, I'm not the only one. I remember there was a line in the script, I think it was season 2 or 3, when we get Mitch and Tiff's boat and the boat like breaks down, and I'm like, we're gonna need a bigger boat. And it was straight up from Jaws. And I was like, and I remember it saying like, it was like all the cast records that one line. And I was like, I wonder who's gonna pick to say it. Like, we all got to record it. But then I heard my voice in the trailer and I was like, oh my God. Like, I remember like freaking out because I'm such a huge film and television buff. Like, I'm a fanatic of just pop culture, and to tie it all together, I mean, those Jurassic people, they're smart people. That Colin Trevorrow, that Steven Spielberg, that Frank Marshall, they know what they're doing over there.
It's always hilarious, when we like read the scripts and then us as a cast want to clarify with the people that wrote it whether or not.
Like, we question them. I'm like, are you sure you meant to give this away? And they're like, yes, we did. I was like, okay, just checking. So it is really fun and special. And again, it's something that the fans get to see. And I love reading if they point it out, like, because it's great for us to do that, right? Like, Sammy's shirt is similar to Dennis's shirt from Jurassic Park, and it's almost the exact same print. And I remember seeing the designs of it, and Scott was like, does it look familiar? And I was like, I mean, it kind of does. I was like, why does it look familiar? And he was like, I don't know, maybe you're paying tribute to a character. And I was like, wait, am I paying tribute to a character? And then it's like, oh my God, Sammy in season 1 was like a double agent type of thing. Yeah. It was Dennis. So I'm like, you guys are just so good. You know, and then they point that out. They see that and they point it out and they write to us. Did you really mean to do this when you said this? And oh my God, they mentioned this from the books about this. And oh my God, they said this from this movie. This is canon. And then I think when they announced that like our show was canon to the series, like it just fit. Then it just confirmed every fan's theories that they had. So I love reading. I'm the same way. Like when I would get new scripts, you know, when we would record, we'd go script by script basis. We didn't have the whole season planned out in front of us. Like I'm sure our writing team did, but we did not. So we as cast members were learning weekly what was happening just in that one episode. So the way that fans have to watch it episode by episode is how we were having to record it episode by episode and figuring out where we were going to go, what was going to happen. So we had the same reactions that everybody else has watching it. We're just a year or two before you guys, but
yeah.
Well, I think we're running low on time. I just want to ask you one more thing. If you saw, in this post Fallen Kingdom era and Jurassic World Dominion era, what would your characters be doing in the world with dinosaurs in the wild?
I feel like Sammy would be hurting them like her farm animals. I feel like she probably has like a compy farm, like a patch of compies that she has a love-hate relationship with those compies. So I feel like she's gonna get them. Like I imagine her like helping to like grow baby velociraptors and like that sort of her thing. I think it wouldn't faze her at all that dinosaurs are now in real life because she's such an animal person. I don't think that it would faze her completely.
It was that one line that immediately came to mind. It was when they were in the tunnels and like there was a bunch of compies and she was like, "You're scaring the itty bitty compy face."
Yeah, literally. Yeah, and then later they take her pizza in season 3, and then she was like, I hate them compies. So it's like, I feel like she would just somehow get a job somewhere, like raising dinosaurs, baby dinos. That's like her thing, an animal speaker. So I feel like she'd be somewhere like a la Owen Grady, like just training dinosaurs somewhere.
Perfect.
Yeah. For Darius, I think that one place that I would really like him to see is just kind of, chilling in a new job that's like that has something to do with prehistoric wildlife and all these new relocated dinosaurs, and maybe, I don't know, containing them or just not experiencing, but observing and studying them like actively. I feel like, just being in his own environment where he can love his job while still making a living out of it is something that I really, really want to see. I also want to see something with all of the campers. Like, we don't get enough filler episodes. Like, seriously, every episode is like straight to the point. I'm looking for something where we're just like, we got a little bit of it in season 5, when they make the new watering hole and they're jumping off of the waterfall. I just want to see more of that camp bonding stuff, when they're eating pizza and like in the summertime or just when they have their yacht party. I really just want to see more of that,
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, it was nice to see everybody catch up at the end of the show, via Zoom or whatever it was. That was really cool. So I just want to thank you.
Oh, go ahead. Sorry.
No, I was gonna wrap it up. Finish your statement there.
No, I was just gonna say, I mean, for Sammy, that's like her biggest thing. It's Camp Fam for life. She really means that, and I agree with Paul. I would love to see more of that in the real world, of them just like together, happily ever after, connecting. So I love that it ended like that, because it shows that we still stayed in contact and we didn't leave each other, and I think that's really special. Yeah.
It was a really special show. I'm sad to see it go. So, hopefully we see more of you guys in the future talking Jurassic. So it's been a pleasure, watching the show and showing it to my kids. So thank you so much. And thank you for joining me today.
Yeah. Thank you
so much for having us.
Awesome. Thank you.